Hey, we're talking right now about prospects and specifically around year-end sales strategies. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. I do a lot of sales kickoff meetings, SKOs. And if your company's having an SKO, reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's make it happen because I bring content to you to help you get your organization next level. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk about prospects and year-end sales strategies because I'll tell you what, you got a number to hit. And prospecting looks a little bit different in the fourth quarter than it does in the other quarters. It does. It looks a little bit different. One, know your funnel. Know what you have in your funnel. This means you've got to be up to date on your CRM system. And more than ever right now in the fourth quarter, I'm paying attention to what's in the lower third because those are prospects that probably have the greatest probability of closing. So I got to make sure that I'm allocating my time and I know exactly what's in my funnel because it's also going to help me identify how much more do I need to put in there or where do I need to put my focus because of the size of the opportunity. 2, past and lost customers. This again is another reason to dive into your CRM system, past customers. These are customers that maybe bought from you, but they haven't been buying from you for several years. Reach back out to them. Yeah, you say, but Mark, they found another vendor. They don't like what we have to. Hold it. You don't know that. That's an assumption. You don't know that until you. Hey, here's the deal. You took the time and effort to develop a relationship with them to get them as a customer, right? Okay, maximize it. Reach back out to them because they may be buying from somebody else, but problem is it's year end and they can't get what they need. Guess what? You can be there. You can be there. Lost customers, the same way. Lost customer. Well, what do you mean by lost? Well, you know the customer that you thought you were going to get, but ultimately they went with another option versus you. Yeah, well, they didn't like what we. No, reach back out. Again, you created the relationship. And in the fourth quarter, all bets are off. Because it's amazing how things change and twist. And you can pick up a tremendous amount of business. Years ago, I was running a pipe, pump, and valve distribution facility. And we did this right at the end of December with past and lost customers. And it was amazing the amount of business we picked up. Yes. Here's the deal. We talk about past lost customers. Now, let's talk about allocating your time. Because you've got to make sure that you allocate your time accordingly. Because there are certain activities that are going to take longer than others. Because if you have a prospect that's a little further up in your funnel, you better be allocating more time to them right now because you need as many weeks as possible to try to close them. You may have. So judiciously allocate your time based on where it needs to be spent. 4, telephone first. The smartphone is not a 500-pound dumbbell. It is an absolute powerful tool. The telephone works, but you got to use it. More than ever right now, you have to accelerate the selling process. And what does that mean? That means you got to be using the telephone. Use the telephone. Rely on it. Number 5, think CFT. CFT. What's CFT? Customer-facing time. Now, I talk about this in my book, A Mind for Sales. Customer-facing time is the specific amount of time that you spend in front of customers. Okay? But then there's also CFT that you spend in front of prospects. And it's 2 separate measurements. Here's the deal. I find a lot of people, what they do is they spend all their CFT with existing customers. And CFT, customer-facing time, is you're either face-to-face with them, you're on a Zoom call, Teams call, whatever, you're on the telephone with them, you're actively exchanging emails with them, something of that nature. But what happens is the amount of time spent on CFT on existing customers then prevents you from spending time on prospects. And you've got to be spending time on prospects. You have got to be spending time on prospects. Because if you don't spend time, so I say track CFT separately. There's CFT for existing, and there's CFT for those customers that are still in my funnel. 6, sell the close in need. You've heard me talk about boiling the ocean. This is not the time to boil the ocean. This is time to get tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the close. I'm going to sell the need that they have today. If what I'm talking about to them today, well, is two parts. There's a little part today and there's a little part that, well, really they don't need till the second or third quarter of the year. Guess what? Unless they're flush with cash looking to spend, which is great, many customers do, they may say that second or third quarter, well, you know what? Why don't we just push the whole project to next year? And then you've lost that close-in opportunity. Separate the two and stay tight. Number 7, year-end funding. Oh, man. Don't hesitate to call it out. The bigger the company, the more likely they are to have year-end funding. But here's the deal. Companies are starting to get conservative. They're starting to get cautious. So you may have departments that have budget today, but they may not have it a week from now. So you better play this card, year-end funding card, right now before potentially they either spend it or they lose it. Use it, year-end funding, and go ahead and call this out to existing customers and to your prospects. Number 8, sell TCO. TCO, total cost of ownership. What you're doing here is you're saying, hey, let's look at what is going to be the total cost, because nobody buys anything, they only invest. So they're going to invest X amount of money and they want to get X plus Y out of it. Okay? That sounds logical, right? Sure it does. So what I'm doing here is I'm sitting there talking to them, showing them what's the total cost of ownership. Now, here's the risk in this. Total cost of ownership might be over 3, 4, 5 years. Okay? And that's okay. But you got to be careful that you can still make that sale happen this year. So you may have to create TCO that only happens in the first quarter, something of that nature. So there's various versions of total cost of ownership. But it's a great strategy to play. Number 9, rinse and repeat. You know I've talked about this a lot. I've talked about it in all my books. The 3 most critical sales words found on every bottle of shampoo: rinse and repeat. It's rinse. It's a new message. I'm sending a new message to my prospects, but I'm repeating the process. I'm being focused. Follow up now more than ever is absolutely key. I cannot stress that. And number 10, be available. You have got to be available. This is not the time to go dark. This is not the time to sit there and say, hey, I'm away on vacation for a week. No. You do not put on your email, your voicemail, out of office messages this time of year. You need to be checking it because things can happen and things can change quickly, and you need to take advantage of it. Hey, another video in the year-end sales strategies. Check out the Sales Hunter University. Check out the Sales Hunter podcast. Great podcast, wherever you download podcasts. Really, it's incredible the success it's having. And call me, would you? Let's have a conversation regarding your sales kickoff meeting because I want to make it happen for you. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.